I'm Geralyn Ochab, CEO of Imagia.
Well, thank you very much, Geralyn. I'm excited to be having this discussion with you. AI, Quebec, as you said, is something we share, and in terms of our passion. And so, why don't we start with a brief, sort of 30 seconds to a minute introduction of what Imagia does?
Imagia is an AI healthcare company, and we're rather unique because we bring together expertise in technology, our domain knowledge in healthcare, and basically apply it to some of the big problems that exist in healthcare today. And one of those challenges, as we know, we really have a one-size-fits-all delivery of medicine. And what we're doing is we're taking our AI platform, which is called Evidence, and it provides innovation infrastructure for medical breakthroughs. And these medical breakthroughs are brought to patients to improve their lives or their journey through their healthcare journey. And we bring it in partnership with industry.
Now, if we step back a little bit from Imagia just for a moment and talk about the way AI is being applied to health and the health sector in Canada today, what comes to mind? What kind of applications or fields are you most excited about in the coming years? And especially, what kind of impact do you think they could have?
It's really early days, but it's a really exciting time. Some of the ones that Imagia is working on, and then I'll share with that the whole industry as a whole. So applying AI for clinical decision support or malignancy prediction for colon polyps. So for example, when you go for a colon polyp screening exam, we have a tool that helps the physician determine just by the image and not disrupting his workflow, whether that polyp is malignant or benign. So that's just one example. There's examples for lung nodule detection and breast and anything oncology driven. There's been a lot of work in cardiology as well. So the applications span really, it's transversal across healthcare and transversal from detection and diagnosis right to where eventually where Imagia wants to go is predicting outcomes and response to really change the treatment or ensuring that the patient is on the right drug at the right time.
What would you say are Montreal / Quebec / Canada's competitive advantages when it comes to AI globally? What makes it an attractive place to attract foreign investments into those ecosystems?
Canada's taken a unique approach to AI. We have a pan-Canadian initiative for AI that really is coast to coast to link research institutes, hospitals, universities, and that sort of starts there. We have support from federal and provincial governments, which is unique. And then when you get to Montreal specifically, it is truly a really unique environment. I mean, we started off in Montreal really deep in life sciences and technology, and that's been for decades. So I think that foundation has allowed Montreal to be the basis for AI in healthcare. And then obviously there is the Montreal Institute of Learning Algorithms, which with hundreds of researchers from anything from healthcare to fintech and beyond, really attracts great talent. I think both federally and provincially, we have infrastructure that promotes foreign investment with great immigration policies, a stable economy, great taxation for investment. So it really brings it home. And then in Montreal specific, when you have the life sciences, as I said, you have the MILA, you have the support of groups like Montreal International, who really that organization has one of the best foundations for economic development in any city that I've seen in Canada. Montreal in Vivo, bringing the life science and technology together. So that along with the universities and hospitals, I mean, there's all the stakeholders are present and engaged in Montreal. So I think it really makes it unique. And frankly, if I like to be biased and say the top, but it's in the top 3 globally of AI ecosystems around the world.
So how do you see collaboration between these different stakeholders driving growth, driving these sectors, AI and health, forward?
Montreal has some of the most premier healthcare institutions within Canada, and if not recognizable on a global scale. As I said, the life science sector, we have CQDM, we have the largest pharma companies with their head offices in Montreal. We have great med device companies. So I think that there has never been, or I've never experienced, a true collaboration ecosystem at this scale. You can feel the excitement. Actually, it's palpable. You can, when you're talking to other companies, the desire for innovation, you can feel it. The desire to make a difference, the willingness to collaborate, the level of intelligence and bright people. I mean, we have some of the brightest people in the city. So all that together, people are really trying to figure out a way to band together to solve problems. It doesn't feel competitive. It really feels like collaboration or co-opetition.
I have to ask you this question because I know for a fact there aren't that many women in the tech sector. You happen to be a woman, so I'm going to ask you, what is the availability of talent, first of all, in general? And are a lot of women getting involved in AI, given how exciting it is, how sort of promising of a sector it is today?
We've seen a real shift in the challenges, if you will, to access of talent. If you break it down into two parts of sourcing talent and retaining talent, I think we're coming over the hump of sourcing talent challenge. And now that we have some great talent here, the young talent in the research environment has made the transition from research to business. And that investment in education and growth has been made and continues to be made. Now it's, how do you get them to stay? How do you make sure they don't go south of the border or go abroad and they continue to stay in our Canadian ecosystem? And I think you do that by that collaboration and that co-opetition, and allow and encourage people to grow and advance, especially for high valuable talent who are ambitious. So you think of the environment as a whole. And then as a woman in the field, it's really great to see. At Imagia specifically, we have at least 30% of our team is women. We're very diverse. We're very inclusive, from women on the executive team to women in tech and leading our technology teams.
So another very important question I wanted to ask is, how receptive do you think Montreal's AI ecosystem is to foreign investors?
So from personal experience, I can say that very welcoming. From business partnering or customer interactions, a lot of the young companies are entrepreneurial companies in their startups, so they need investment. So there's a lot of different forms of investment that Quebec and Montreal, well, and Canada as a whole, is open to. What I love about AI in healthcare is really that opportunity to make a difference. And we see that in our people in Imagia. That's what I get up for every day, is finding a way that we can move our healthcare system from one that actually addresses disease and treatment and moving more to prevention and wellness.
Montreal's advantages are very clear, but we do find ourselves in a unique economic context where we have a lot of global uncertainty and at the same time a lot of, a demand for tech and of course also for health. How does that position Montreal's AI for health ecosystem for the coming years?
Montreal is uniquely positioned from a few different perspectives. One, it's a city where people want to come and live. It has an international flair. And that's really important if you're trying to compete globally and address all the challenges that exist. We have the education sector, we have the hospital sector, and we have the commitment from government and business. The fact that a lot of large companies have now set up shop or set up their head office in Montreal around AI in healthcare is really important. So I think as the global economy may get questionable and, we're in unprecedented times, I think Montreal is really unique to be able to weather those, both from attracting the talent and having the talent stay, making sure that the companies want to stay in the investments that they made. So I think Montreal is going to do great.
If you could send a message right now to the global investment community in the hopes that they would come and invest in Montreal's AI for health ecosystem, what would you say in sort of 30 seconds? What would be your pitch?
Stable economy, team, tech, talent, all in one place, open to innovation, and passionate about what we do.